Welcome to your daily focus, May the 19th, 2022. My name's Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. We have the 19 energy today. The 19 energy is about you. It's overcoming difficulties and finding successes. It's knowing your strength, your courage. 1 plus 9 is a 10. That talks about new energy coming in, new seasons coming in. Things are changing, things are transforming. It's always, a 10 energy is always a little bit of a rainbow on a cloudy, rainy day. It says that there's a brightness, there's a beauty, there's a promise of happiness and joy. Giggles and laughter, success and love. When the 10 energy appears. Now, 1 plus 0 is a 1, and that is the I am. That's being the pioneer. That's being the trailblazer. That's starting fresh and anew. That's rebirthing or inventing something, creating something, birthing something. Or maybe it's a rebirth, putting energy into something that needed the energy, that went by the wayside in one way or another in your life. If we do the numerology of the day, it is a 12 energy. Now, the 12 energy is about being in the moment. The 12 energy is about pulling it back and looking at your reality without emotion attached to it, if you can do that. It does take practice, and it's not the easiest thing to do. But the more that you can detach yourself from the emotion of your reality right now, the more that you will get clarity and understanding to make the right decisions going forward. The emotion won't be leading it, or the emotion that you're feeling at the present time won't be pushing it in a direction. And it doesn't just require it on logic, on common sense, on tried and true. So when we can mix those things together, and not overemphasize the emotion, we can get clarity. We can bring in knowledge. We can understand where we need to let go of control, or maybe gain control. We will see where we need to surrender or compromise. And it might have been and for the right reasons. We never want to give a part of ourselves away. Absolutely not. But sometimes we need to make that compromise. Sometimes we need to make that sacrifice. Sometimes we need to let something go. So it's pulling it back and looking at our world today under the 12 energy. Now, 1 plus 2 is 3. So that is about so that we can create, so that we can invent, so that we can become, so that we can plant those seeds of greatness and bring in successes, love, joy. We have the sun in Taurus, soon to be Gemini, but in Taurus. So the final days of Taurus energy. We could be looking at our financials a lot today. Usually when we're at the very beginning or the very end of any planet, any star coming into a sign or leaving a sign, the energy is usually more intense. So we will be feeling that today. We will be feeling about how to make it has to do with home, absolutely, but more importantly, it has to do with your security, your safety, and it could be even more of a financial security or safety that you're looking at. This is a beautiful energy to look at those kinds of things, because very soon we'll be changing the energy, and it won't be as easy to really get down, roll up your sleeves and get down into maybe your budget or where you're investing or how you spend your money or how you invest your money, how you make your money work for you, where your money goes, how it comes in, are all things, and what toys you can buy for yourself, what luxuries, what material possessions you can bring in because of it. Absolutely. It's about creating your joy, and security. It might that be that you want that one car that would appreciate and value, and you get the joy of driving it. It could be where you're, whatever it may be. You may be putting money away for your education, somebody else's education, and gifting it to them at the right time, planning that years in advance, perhaps. But definitely how we use our money, our resources. Maybe time is your resource. Maybe your vitality, your energy is your resource. Maybe you have a talent or a gift and that's your truest resource. And how do you utilize it? How do you take care of it? How do you nurture it? How do you move it forward in the way you want? Moon is in Capricorn, so under the Capricorn, we want to strategize. We want to make the plan. We want to make the list. We want to meet our obligations and responsibility. It's very much a very diplomatic energy then for us today, where we can kind of sit down and we can look at things and really understand some of the things that we need to step into and some of the things that we need to pull away from, some of the things we need to heal from, things that we need to leave in the past, and the things that we want to bring in. Absolutely. When we have that beautiful 19 energy, it is about a forward focus of who we are and where we're going, and creating that path of joy and happiness. And of course there's going to be struggles, but you can handle them because you just trust me, you'll be able to handle them. We won't even go into all that. What's happening in the sky today? I think the sun and Pluto are getting along today. So intense and deep experiences, absolutely, today in our lives. It's almost like we have this greater power over our lives, our events in our lives, our situations, our environments, the people around us. We seem to have some kind of control today. So it's a very good day, sun and Pluto getting along in the sky, of really stepping into who we want to be, really stepping into our potential, really stepping into our values. And Mercury and Jupiter, I think, are getting along today. Now, I didn't do a reading for yesterday, and I apologize. And I should have, because, oh my goodness, Mercury must have been up to something. Or maybe it was just my own personal planets, but I had a road trip planned. We started out late. We kind of got home at the right time, but there were accidents. There were tractors passing tractors. And I mean, these tractors take up a road and a half. So when you have a tractor passing a tractor, and then of course there's a lady walking a dog on the other side, and you just know this is just going to end up wrong. Like, let's just get through this alive, people. Let's get through this alive. Fallen wires for absolutely no reason. It was a beautiful sunny day for the most part, so it wasn't like we had high winds or anything like that. People pulled over on the side of the road, creating potentially dangerous environments. They're pulled over in the wrong places, or there's tow trucks involved, or there's police involved. It was like that the whole day for me, right until I finally pulled into the driveway tonight. So delays in our plans could have been very much a part of it, but today we have Mercury getting along with Jupiter, and we get this optimism, and we also can tap into things. We can definitely future looking. So definitely we are looking towards the future today rather than the past. Now, as we look towards the future under this beautiful lunar eclipse energy, we will be able to see what is holding us back from actually taking that step. If we're honest with ourselves, if we take some time back. The 12 energy is being in the moment, taking some time back, and really looking at your reality and being honest about some of the things that you might have to give up or move away from. Relinquish that challenge, perhaps. I don't know who that was for, but that came through very, very clear. Relinquishing that challenge and saying it's not worth the fight. I need to concentrate on me, my path forward. That's not going to really move me in any direction. I might get satisfaction out of the win, but it's not a game changer for where I'm going. And really putting things in perspective. We can be the diplomat today. With the 3 energy, definitely we could be the diplomat today, and our intuition is high today. So, and that's only highlighted with Mercury and Jupiter getting along. We want to look ahead and make the plans, make the strategy. Understand the steps we want to take, some of the steps we must take. And I think we can get along better today. There's more diplomacy in the air. So if we need to talk to people, I think it will go easier than most days under a Mercury retrograde. Okay, bottom card. Bottom card, look at this, the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands. We may be looking at our finances today and understanding new ways of utilizing our resources, our money, our time, our energy, whatever it may be, in order to have a better flow in our lives, a balance. So maybe we have been putting a lot of energy in one area of our life and not in another. Maybe we are trying to get that promotion at work, so we're working. We're taking in all the overtime. We're not spending it with our family, or we're not spending time with our friends. We're pulling away from them in order to do that. Or we're not taking time to tap into our spirituality and giving that part of our, mind, body, spirit. Are we taking care of the whole package or just parts? So it's finding the balance, understanding the balance, where you need to sacrifice, where you need to maybe pull in a little bit more energy or give it more energy or time or focus. Our first card, look at this, 3 of Cups. This is about happiness. This is celebration. This is joy. This is getting together with friends and just enjoying each other. Most times we get good news under this kind of energy, or news that we want to celebrate. Something good happens. Now, it could happen to us very personally because we do have the 19 energy available to us today. So it could be a very personable moment for you. You could be celebrating for somebody else, but I think it's more about you. And this is creating joy. This is about getting together with people today and just enjoying each other. And out of that, we might just get a memory. How wonderful would that be? How beautiful would that be if we just created that memory? But, the rainbow's calling to me. So once again, I get that with that 19 energy of there's a promise that, yes, we have to go through struggles. We have to go through challenges. It's part of life. But there are moments that we're going to celebrate because of these hardships. Maybe we finally got something off of our plate, or we made a decision for the first time, and we can celebrate that. Yes, I know where I'm going now, or I know the next step. I know what I have to do. I know what I need to commit to or pull away from. And celebrating that, the acknowledgement of getting some clarity and understanding and from taking it back a little bit today. But I think it's more of getting in there. But the rainbow kind of, the rainbow is the promise that there's a beautiful day awaiting us. A beautiful tomorrow. And the 3 of Cups is all about celebration and good news and harmony, laughter. We have the Hermit. Well, the Hermit hasn't been coming out too often, has it? But the Hermit really kind of fits with the energy today of the 12 energy, right? The 12 energy is the Hangman, but it's kind of like being in the moment and understanding where you are, looking at your here and now and where you want to go, and creating that plan. Bringing in the knowledge, seeking the knowledge. Knowing that you can do this, perhaps. Having a little pep talk with yourself about how great you are. Because I think you forget to do that once in a while. Just saying. And it may not be a time to discuss the problems and the things that you have with other people, but more of having an internal conversation with yourself, so that when you go out and have conversations with other people, you're not pushed too much in one direction or another direction because you didn't think it through yourself. And then putting on the blinders once they've given you their opinion of how you should live your life. And then we have the world card. So heavy, this is very strong energy for ourselves, but it's very good energy if we utilize it. The world card is beautiful, especially under a lunar eclipse energy. And we will be experiencing this lunar eclipse energy right up until, I think, the end of October, along with the solar eclipse energy. So go back and watch that one again, because that is the undercurrent. This is about tying up loose ends. This is saying, hey, there's a whole world, a whole new path waiting for you. But you got to tie up the loose ends. You've got to make some decisions. You've got to leave some things in the past. You got to cut the cords, so to speak, in some situations. Detach yourself from certain things so that you can feel the freedom, so that it doesn't weigh you down going forward. That you're not trying to accomplish new steps as the old baggage burdens you, weighs you down, doesn't allow you to move in the direction you want. So it's very much a clearing energy that we have today, to just take some time. 5 minutes in the morning or the afternoon or the evening. Maybe journal, maybe meditate, maybe pray. Maybe just have a conversation with yourself. Contemplate where you are and where you need to go. And start making a plan. And when you start making that plan, that's when you're going to see, that's when you're going to get the clarity and the understanding that, first of all, you can do it. But more importantly, what has been holding you back from doing that? What has been making you procrastinate? What is the anxiety you're feeling? What is the fear you're feeling? And when you can label a fear, when you can label an anxiety, when you can look it in the eye, you know what? You've taken away all of its power. And it's a hard thing to do, but I think today we have a lot of strong energy to make us strong through these decisions. And even when it comes to decisions, remember, Mercury is in retrograde, so if you can hold off, there's probably more information that's going to come out, even more, maybe to solidify your thoughts already, or maybe to give you a different perception. I think it was the eclipse where we had the shadow card as the expansion of our path. So remember that we don't want to be making these decisions hastily. We just don't want to make a decision so that we have made a decision, we can move on from that. We need to make the right decisions right now, and the energy is allowing us to take the time, if we so choose, to really look at where we want to go, where we want to grow, what we want to step into. Okay, let's get a mantra card. So it's beautiful, strong energy that we can feel around us today, embrace today. So, plan for 5 or 10 minutes even. If you don't usually keep a budget, although you should, sit there and doodle out some numbers is what I hear. Doodle out some numbers and just write them down and start to see where, I was sitting there with somebody, I won't mention who they were, and once we figured out how much they made and where they thought they needed and what they had to have, there was actually a pretty large lump sum left at the end that they were like, you're kidding me. And then they started keeping a little bit more track of all that little incidental spending. Oh, I'm thirsty. I think I'll pull over and get a drink, and maybe I'll grab a sandwich because those look really good over there. And, you're spending money that you don't need to spend, and not being aware of where you're handing out $5 or $10, and where you could utilize that money and apply it in different areas. They're doing great now, and they've got this really strong budget going for them. But it wasn't until they went, oh, I'm spending a lot of money that I don't realize that I'm even spending. Because when you asked me about entertainment, I gave you this dollar amount. Obviously, that's wrong. I gave you this for the grocery amount. Obviously, that's wrong. And they started keeping a little bit more of a detailed, itemized list of where they were spending the money, and really came to some conclusions about how they could utilize their money. So somebody needed to hear that, because that came out. Okay, what's our card? Look at this. New beginnings. New beginnings. It's very much a day when you can see where you can step into new beginnings, new opportunities, new learning experiences, new relationships. Begin your new life. The phoenix rising out of the ashes. Begin your new life. So a magical time for us. Okay, where are we? New beginnings. Begin your new life. New beginnings are bursting with assertive confidence and excitement. This day is marking the start of a new direction full of adventure. And you may not feel like it's a new start. In fact, we are in that full moon, lunar eclipse energy. So, and it's the end of the Taurus sun. Capricorn is a little bit more of a sober energy. So there's all this stuff to tell us that we're not starting a new path today, but in essence, many of our decisions, many of our thoughts will push us in the directions that we need to go for those new starts and for those new beginnings. It may not feel like a new beginning today, and that's okay. And there's going to be a lot of gray area, you see, and that's okay. And there's going to be a lot of unknowns, and that's okay. Because we have to start the path somewhere. Even when you're signing up and you're going to be doing that 10K marathon, okay? Does it really start when you get your toe at the start line and the gun goes off and everybody starts running? I shouldn't say gun goes off anymore in this day and age. The starter pistol, I don't know. They blow the whistle. They do the flag thing. I don't know. Use whatever you want, but I thought when I said that didn't sound right anymore in today's world. No. That race that you are running, that you are going to win, started maybe 5 years ago when you decided you're going to start walking the block. And then it turned into, well, I'm walking 10 blocks. Maybe I'll start jogging 2 or 3 of those. And then all of a sudden, you're at a 10K marathon. That's when the new beginning started. The new race started to the finish line. But we don't look at it like that. We look at the starting as being something that we actually start. We started so long ago in many ways. And today is one of those starting moments for us where we gain some perception. We understand ourselves a little bit better, why we procrastinated, why we stayed back because of a fear, of an anxiety, of an unknown. Why we stayed in that relationship or that job setting or that environment or that community, for that group of people. So today marks the start of a new direction full of adventure. It may not feel like it, but the Phoenix is here to tell you that's exactly what's happening in your life right now. You are starting the new path. It will get easier as you start to connect and go with the flow and understand why you're saying yes to things and why you're saying no to things. You are in a good position to use your abilities and desires to reach your full potential. You are being guided to act now and use this creative energy and enthusiasm to get a project successfully underway. You are being driven by a creative force. The mantra is, I'm excited and ready for a new beginning. I am excited. I am ready for a new beginning. And we'll get our new animal deck here. And who's our animal today? The lynx, keeper of the secrets. Take time out from the world and be an observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. So it's very much in silence and solitude. I think I said already that I don't think this is a day that we're going to be sharing with another person. We're going to be looking within and coming to some conclusions on our own. So that when we go out, when we be the observer of other people and their opinions of what we should be doing, what choices we need to make, what decisions, which way we should lean, that we've already got a knowing about us. Don't you love it when it all comes together like that? So the keeper of the secrets. So this is also a day when we have to be the diplomat, but we also have to walk with integrity. And if somebody gives you a secret, you need to keep it sacred. You can't go blab it off to somebody else. Not on a day like today. Not with the links showing up. You hold their secrets sacred and trust in them that they will hold your secrets sacred. So I don't think today, with all the energy, it's a beautiful, beautiful grounded day for us to really think about where we want to go, what we want to become, what we want to step into, what we want to create, what we want to manifest, what new beginnings. And I think when we look at those things today, we will understand where the trips are on the path, where we get caught up in the clutter, the confusion, the chaos, the distractions. We can come to an understanding of what we can release, where we can let go, where we can surrender, and surrender in a good way. Because we're not going to give a part of ourselves away. We are going to make ourselves stronger by using this energy wisely today. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.